What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. In this video today I am going to be showing you guys where I have a coolant leak coming from the passenger side of the truck. It took me a little bit to find this. I wasn't expecting it to be in this location, but eventually finally found it, and we're going to be replacing the parts here today to get it resolved. So I'm going to show you guys what we got going on. Okay, so on the passenger side of the truck here, I already have this wheel well taken out, wheel well liner taken out. This coolant hose right here, see, I thought this was coming from back here. I tightened up that clamp a couple times. I kept checking around. You see all this residue here. It's dripping onto the cold side pipe here. But right on this weld, right here, is where the actual, on the back side of that weld, where that tab is attached, that's where the leak is coming from. So I already have a replacement hard line that we're gonna put on, but trying to find the location of this leak was a bit difficult. I guess I just wasn't expecting it to be at that weld there, but then after cleaning it off and drying everything up and running it for a bit, there's no other option for it to be right there, and finally found it. So that's going to be our problem there, and it's a common thing on LB7s too, so that's what we're working with. So on that line, we have the tab that I showed you. So right there, that bolt there has got to come out. And then there's a second tab up here. That bolt on the left right there is the one that has to come out there. And then we have all the way up to that quick connect fitting on the left here. That left-hand quick connect fitting is the one we are replacing. We have that new connector, so we can take all the way up to that off. You may want to drain some of your coolant out a little bit, and definitely take the cap off of your reservoir to make sure you don't have, do this when your engine's cold too. Make sure you don't have any pressure in the system when you go to undo that quick connect and you blow a bunch of coolant everywhere and potentially hurt yourself, and have hot coolant going everywhere. But yeah, we're gonna try to get this quick connect out of there, and then that hose clamp we are going to reuse, that rubber line we're going to reuse. So we have from this fitting all the way up to that quick connect up there. You can kind of see it just past the water separator filter there. So that's what we're going to be dealing with. All right, so it's the next day. It got dark out last night, and it was making a mess, and that quick connect back there that I was talking about was an absolute pain in the butt to get out. Absolutely horrible. My recommendation to you guys would be to get two sets of or two hose clamp pliers and just clamp off this line, and then the other line down here, clamp off this line as well, and then pull your clamp here, and then your clamp down here, and you're gonna lose a lot less fluid, which will make bleeding the system a lot easier too. And because it's a higher line, you may only need to add a little bit of fluid and then you'll be fine, rather than having to sit there and bleed out the whole system. like I did. But yeah, I got it in. That tab's bolted in there, and then that tab is bolted in there. There's no leaks. I had to run it for a long time, and then I ran out of coolant that I had to go pick up more coolant and bleed the system. So this is like your bleeder screw here. This bolt right here is your bleeder screw. That one right there. So if you have to bleed the system, you're gonna, after you get everything put back in, you pour coolant back in there, pop that bleeder screw, and you fill it until coolant starts coming out of that bleeder screw, and then you're gonna have to run the truck, fill the coolant tank to the max level at cold, and then you're gonna have to run the truck and get it up to temp. And then once it's up to temp, you have to run it at like 2,000 RPM or so to try to burp all the air out of the system. And it takes a while. These trucks don't heat up very fast, and it's just time consuming. So I was trying to do that late at night last night, and it was a pain in the butt. So if clamping off both of those lines made this job a little bit easier, then that would have been nice. So that would be my recommendation to anybody that has to do this. Also, if you have a coolant leak on the passenger side, this is one of your options to look at. Take off this. Number one, it's going to be leaking down on the bottom side of the bottom side of this intercooler pipe, and then you're going to follow the coolant up to this line here, and you're most likely going to have coolant dripping off of the bottom side of that weld there. You'd have coolant on the bottom side of that, dripping down or running down to this clamp here, and then dripping onto your intercooler pipe. And so pull this wheel well liner on your passenger side, and then clean up that line and check there to see if you have a leak there. It's pretty simple to get the line out. I basically snaked it out of this area here, twisting it and coming up that way. Not too bad at all. Just that quick connect was a pain in the butt. I fought it for a while. So if you don't have a leak at that quick connect, I would recommend not replacing it. Just replace the steel line. And if you have old rubber lines, then you might want to replace those too, but if you can avoid it, I would. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for stopping in to watch this. I hope it helps somebody. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down in the comment section below. I hope you guys have a good one. Thanks.